Welcome to the cosine ratio. Hooray! So now we're basically doing the same thing as the sine of an angle. We're just looking at a different ratio this time. This is a cosine. So it's just a ratio of your adjacent side this time divided by your hypotenuse. So if I take adjacent, divide by hypotenuse, I can have a ratio. Now going forward, we're going to be dealing with we're going to be dealing with three ratios. So this is going to be helpful for you to know. It's called SOHCAHTOA. So this is how you remember that C is for cosine, and the A is for adjacent, and the H is for hypotenuse. So that's going to, if you see that you have an angle with an adjacent side and you're looking for hypotenuse, then you're going to think, okay, I need cosine. Now, just in case you haven't seen this symbol before, this symbol here is just your symbol for angle. Okay? All right, so just make sure that your calculator is on the right spot, because before you can cross multiply with your cos 15, you actually have to enter cos 15 into your calculator, get the decimal, and then continue with your cross multiplication. So you should get these answers here. If you don't, please talk to me. Okay, so now, here again, cos A just means angle A. So this is our angle A. Now the adjacent side is the side next to the angle. That's not the hypotenuse. So that's the B here. Okay? So our adjacent side is B over a hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is always opposite your 90-degree angle, your longest side, so that's C. Now again, these ratios change depending on what angle you're talking about. So we're talking about angle B. So this is angle B. So the adjacent side to angle B is actually A over the hypotenuse C. So the ratios will change depending on where your angle is in the triangle. Okay, so let's do an example here. So what's the distance RP? So RP is just right here, RP, so that's Q. That's what we're looking for. And it gives us an angle of 38 here, and we have 6.1. Okay, so you should look at this and think, what do I have? So I have an angle of 38. I have a side next to the angle. This is my adjacent side, A. That's an A. And I have over here my hypotenuse, the longest side that we're trying to solve for. So we should set it up like this. Cos of 38 is my adjacent side here, the 6.1, over my hypotenuse, which is the Q that we're trying to find. So cross multiply would be 1 times 6.1, and then we divide by the cos of 38. And you should get 7.74. Okay, so this one says finding adjacent side instead of the hypotenuse. So this is just looking for a different side. Now it says to solve this triangle. What does that mean? Solve the triangle just means solve everything in this triangle that you don't know. So we don't know this angle here. We don't know this side P. And we don't know this side R. Okay? So I'm going to start with angle P. You could start wherever you want. So what will you get? So you should know that you have a 90-degree angle, a 51-degree angle, and there's 180 total in a triangle. So we just subtract the 90 and the 51, and we get 39 degrees. Okay, so this is 39 degrees. 39. Now, you now have two angles to work with to solve a side. You can start wherever you want. There is multiple ways to do this. So set up your equation for P. We're going to look for P first. They sometimes call it RQ. Okay, so you set it up and see what you get. So I decided to use the 51. You could have used the angle we found up here, but I'm using 51. So my cosine would be my adjacent side to P, which we don't know, over 4.3, our hypotenuse. Okay, and then what do you get? You should get that the cos of 51 is 0.6293, And then we can cross multiply my cos of 51 times 4.3, and we get our p is equal to 2.71. Now going forward, we have to find r. So you try it and see what you get. Now we could use this angle we found up here, and you could do the cosine with your r and your hypotenuse here, because your r is adjacent to that angle. Or you can, if you're more comfortable, you could do Pythagoras, because now you have two sides, so you could do Pythagoras. It's up to you. I decided to practice using more cosine. So this is the 39 I have here. So I set it up as my adjacent side, r, which I don't know, over my 4.3. Cos of 39 is 0.7771. Cross multiply, I get p is equal to 3.34. So now you're going to complete the day 4 assignment. When you're done, take quiz 7.4. And then obviously if any of this didn't make sense or going through, you're having trouble, ask anytime.